Another day, another Bud Light story where it's not good. Of course it's not good. It's Bud Light after all. They continue to trip over their own dicks into failure. It's hilarious. They managed to snatch bigger defeat from the jaws of failure. It's a fantastic brand and a great story. Bud Light could see a permanent 15% dent in sales amid backlash over Dylan Mulvaney partnership. Bernstein, one of them boys, analysts warn as they lower Anheuser-Busch 2023 profit forecast by 6.7%. You couldn't have just done 6.9% because this is a meme story in and of itself. Not this one specifically. Like, the losses being catastrophic because of just one partnership. It was just one can. Shut up. Just take the L at this point. Bud Light could see a permanent 15% dent in sales amid a backlash over its controversial partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Analysts at global asset management firm Bernstein, oh yes, have warned that America's flagship beer brand could see long-lasting damage over the collaboration, and they forecast that Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, will see its overall profits for 2023 fall by 6.7%. Comes after Mulvaney shared a series of promotional posts. Oh, see, at least the Daily Mail is finally getting around to it by acknowledging that no, it wasn't just one post. The brand has seen sales plummet by as much as 25.7% in the week ending May 20th as people continue to boycott the beer. But why wouldn't you? Okay, because you got such a relatable face right there as the would have been forefront of your May and June marketing campaign if you hadn't infuriated literally everybody, or at least spurned them to inaction, or spurned them into side-splitting laughter. Tend to fall into the latter category. But as you can see, things are getting better, right? Because it started off only a 6.9% drop in the week ending April 8th, and then it went 17%. That's a little worse. 21.4, 23.4, 23.6. That's not as bad. 24.7 or 6. Okay, stabilizing. 25.7, and then 23.9. Whew, see, the rebound is here. We found the bottom. Don't worry about that. Well, I'll be waiting to see. Right? But Bernstein analysts Nadine Sarwat, and Trevor Sterling wrote in a note that Bud Light could see permanent 15% haircut to sales, according to Forbes. That would probably be optimistic at this point in time because, as you can see, 20 seems to be somewhere in, on, and around where they're going to be at. So maybe 15% is the low end, and we're looking at 25-ish, 25-ish at the top end. It's not good. It's not good. The pair also forecast that the company's profits for 2023 will fall by 6.7% from the $32 billion it recorded last year. Now, they said now that an attractive entry point for those looking to invest in Anheuser-Busch is to set a target price for 71.60 cents for the stock. Interesting. That is an increase of 30% from the $55 that it was trading on Friday. That's okay. I still think it'll probably drop because, especially if they got to go super patriotic for Independence Day. Yeah, I still think that it could go lower by the end of the month. This isn't financial advice. I'm just prognosticating. I've been pretty good when it comes to my forecasting. Unlike the guy that we're going to be talking about right now, we got Joe Rogan, who all of a sudden, interesting. Now because you realize that, maybe my influence isn't as big as it used to be back when I was on YouTube. Funny, I caught a lot of shit for saying that he was going to be the second coming of Howard Stern. How I was wrong about saying, his searches are down because he's on Spotify and he didn't give a fuck about any of the censored content that Spotify got rid of. I already got my bag and I don't really care what we talk about anymore, and the only time that he pops up or trends on social media or anybody searches for his dumbass is when CNN decides to tune in and he said something about the horse paste and we can go ahead and spin that. He is fucking irrelevant, and anybody holding him up as he's the biggest talk show that's out there is a fucking lying to themselves. Name me the last 5 guests that are on the Joe Rogan podcast. Back when he used to be on YouTube, oh my god, that shit was right up at the top. That was appointment viewing for a lot of people that's out there. Now that he's just kind of squirreling away over on Spotify, it's so great, I'm going to be able to talk about anything that I want to. And then Spotify came in at the behest of all of their purple-haired employees. We're just going to go ahead and we're just going to bring in this COVID misinformation, which now it's just fact that he was talking about at the time that was labeled mis or disinformation. We're just going to have this little fact check that's on there, and Joe Rogan, this free speech absolutist that he is, oh, okay, that's fine. Fucking fraud. Fraud. That's why I've never, ever held him up as any sort of authority. He has interesting conversations, but he stands for very fucking little. Because you guys probably also remember, this isn't the first time that Rogan's talked about these woke boycotts, right? Because, I seem to remember this not that long ago, that, this is gonna blow over. I don't know what everybody's so concerned about. This whole Bud Light thing is just, it's just blown out of proportion, right? Joe Rogan slammed by fans for defending Bud Light over Dylan Mulvaney sponsorship. And when was this? April 13th, right? And that was about the last time anybody gave a fuck about your podcast. Joe Rogan's rabid fan base soured on the Spotify star after he took a sip of Bud Light during his podcast and said the controversy surrounding Dylan Mulvaney's partnership was much ado about nothing. You couldn't have been more wrong if you would have said that the sun was going to rise in the west today. What a fucking moron. Wonder how much Bud paid him for that. About $50K, I think, is what we all figured out. Another user accused Rogan of sitting on the fence and to play it safe. Talking about, Anheuser-Busch paying off Rogan. That would make sense because we all know he's open for business. Rogan dismissed the controversy over the Bud Light ad campaign featuring Mulvaney. Here's my take. Rogan said on the Tuesday episode of the podcast, what they're doing is just spreading the brand to get an extra group of people. The woke side, which you're just going to go ahead and condemn a couple of months later because you think that everybody is just like Joe Biden has short-term memory loss. Fan-fucking-tastic. Why? If something is good. Light beer in general, mass-produced light beer in general, for those who drink, it's always been one of those, if you have nothing better, I guess. Yeah, why do you give a fuck who's got it? Interesting. So yeah, it's alright to try to go out there and court an extra group of people, even though the customer base at large wouldn't be liking that stuff. Again, it would just be like, okay, if the UFC was all of a sudden going to go ahead and give Fallon Fox a title shot, I'm sure he would have something to say about that, right? Right. Joe Rogan says customers have had enough of woke messaging. Stop shoving this down everybody's throat. But I thought it was just trying to appeal to the base, and who really gives a fuck? What's changed? What's changed in a couple of months? Somebody's trying to get back on the good side and trying to just grasp back at relevance, huh? Rogan blasted Bud Light and Target, saying many Americans have decided that they have enough. Fucking hilarious. With massive companies facing public backlash for ongoing woke messaging, Rogan's guest, stand-up comedian Theo Von. Yeah, that's the quality of guest. Nothing against Theo Von. I think that he's relatively funny, but again, you get comedians in a genre that's practically dead because it's been killed by that group of people that, it's just some comedy fans. It doesn't matter who you're trying to appeal to, right, bro? Whatever. Yeah, and obviously the Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney, they've lost $20+ billion. 25 last time we checked. Can you imagine? They're gonna send a fucking can to a confused person. Oh my god, what was the quote again? The thing about Dylan Mulvaney is like, it's just somebody who wants a lot of attention, and you've given somebody a lot of attention. You're trying to reach somebody from another audience. And now what is it? Yeah, can you imagine sending somebody a fucking can, a confused person, that day 365 of womanhood? No, it was girlhood. It was girlhood. It was as groomery as it sounds. And you spend that person, or you send that person a fucking can with their face on it, and the company loses $20 billion. That's wild shit, man. Good stuff. Very insightful. So we're seeing that now where we never saw it before, and people are going, enough, stop shoving this down everybody's throat. Pause. He went to suggest that much of the far-left messaging from today in major corporations like Target has gone beyond the pale for society. You don't fucking say. It took you to the beginning of June to figure this stuff out. Holy fuck. That's why everybody's pretty much done with Rogan at this point in time. When I go to Target, I want to see... I want to see, like... I don't want to see, like, fucking tuck pants. What? They're designed to help you tuck your dick. Oh, okay. Hey, that's not normal. That's what... you don't want that in front of everybody. It's weird. It's weird. There's a lot of fucking real weirdness in this group of people trying to change the way people view sexuality and gender. They're proselytizing. Yeah, we understand. Vaughn reiterated the app idea to track what political causes a company donates to before businesses Doing business with them. Yeah, it's just called Open Secrets because thanks to them being publicly traded companies, you can see who makes political donations, and hey man, it's only a click away, but it is what it is. On Friday, Target stock fell 3.26%, with the stock losing over $15 million in market value since mid-May. Well, that's obviously wrong because we just seen that it was billions in the previous video. Must be a typo. Seriously, somebody cooming over themselves. Well, I get to talk about Rogan like it's something of note. This isn't 2017 anymore. As of Tuesday evening, the stock price for Anheuser-Busch InBev has dropped about 15% compared to where it was about a month ago, where sales with a week ending May 27 decreased 23.9% compared to a year ago. And we'll get an update for the second half of Memorial Day, probably at the beginning of next week. But the beginning of next week's going to be busy, especially with all that Trump stuff. And while I'm talking about it, I'm going to be doing a stream here in a very short period of time about the Trump indictment. Won't be a long one. We got some videos to watch, but it's going to be informative. It's going to be informative because Tuesday is going to be when the shit totally hits the fan in that situation, and there's probably going to be more dumb Bud Light stuff to talk about in the meantime. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.